I thought to be brave was to be like David when he killed Goliath. I thought it to be spears and arrows and soldiers standing on front rows. But I've recently discovered that to be brave, it can be allowing yourself to sit on a toilet bowl, fully clothed, emptying from your eyes. The bravery doesn't have to be standing tall with an elongated neck. It can be you, on your knees, head bowed, talking to a higher power that you cannot see. Bravery doesn't have to be composed. It could be you, shattering from the inside and allowing it to reflect on the outside. Hair wild, skin tired, shoulders drooping, feet dragging. Bravery doesn't have to be Daniel in a den of lions. It can be a leper, bathing 7 times in search for his healing. Bravery can be forgiving yourselves for the experiences you call mistakes. It can be an open heart that sometimes accommodates fears, overcoming them in divine timing. Bravery can be putting aside ego to apologize. It can be saying hello to a stranger. It can be choosing to play dare instead of truth. It can be wearing a skirt that you never would. Bravery can be wearing red lipstick and drinking from a white cup, or walking around without makeup. It can be saying no. It can be saying yes to what you believe you deserve. It can be a divorce or choosing to love. Bravery, well, it can be a deep inhale and an even longer exhale. It can be a better diet, a workout routine, a skincare routine. It can be brushing your teeth on days you don't feel like it. It can be silence and detaching from conversations you don't want to engage in. Bravery can be a one-way street. But why place a limit when bravery can be a vast ocean that you can cruise? I thought to be brave was to be like David when he killed Goliath. I thought it to be spears and arrows and soldiers standing on front rows. But I've recently discovered that bravery, it doesn't necessarily have to be intertwined with strength.
Welcome back. About to give this beautiful lady an amazing standing ovation. That was beautiful. That is beautiful. Tell us about you. Tell us about your journey. Karibu sana ma'am kwenye show. Please introduce yourselves.
So I go by the name Wanjiku Gicheru. I am a spoken word artist. I'm also a theater for development practitioner, and I use theater techniques to work with communities and shift perspectives on the ground and to help people become aware of issues that they're not aware of.
It's nice.
My name is Christine Macharia from Awareness Against Human Trafficking, or well known as Heart Kenya. I'm a shelter manager there. I deal with girl victims of human trafficking from ages 6 to 17.
Wow. What does it take for you to be a spoken word artist?
Well, I guess it's pretty much words half the time. But I'd say it's also wanting to pretty much communicate something using your words. Words have a lot of power.
Yes.
Words have a lot of intention. And just crafting words together to be able to communicate something, especially to question society, or to just even express yourself, your depression, your sadness, your happiness, your joy. So I'd say pretty much, if you're looking to be a spoken word artist, words are there. Wewe tu jua maneno.
Na rhythm.
Na rhythm, peke yake.
How was the journey, just before we get into the actual conversation, how has the journey for being a spoken word artist been for you? The impact, everything, how has it been for you?
I'd say it's been very unpredictable, given that how I entered the industry wasn't even as a spoken word artist. I started out as a monologue artist.
Oh, what's the difference?
The difference is monologue is a theater technique, and it's more about, it's very much of acting. And with spoken word, it's more of poetry and speaking, really. So I did a monologue piece, and then I was told, oh, no, that's spoken word. I was like, is it though? But then that's how I started doing spoken word, because spoken word was more acceptable than the monologues. But pretty much it's very exciting to be a spoken word artist. It's also very challenging in terms of you have to grow your craft. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know what you're saying. I love when you're surrounded by artists who are experts, then your work is critiqued. And that means
a lot of competition,
that's
judging.
competition, judging and challenge. So yeah.
So tell us about gaining grip. First, tell us about whatever it is that you do, everything that you do.
Okay. That's quite broad. For Heart Kenya, what we do, we create awareness. We work with the 4 Ps of the UN, that is protection, protecting victims of trafficking, that is from identification, rescue, giving them rehabilitative services, and reintegration and more so economic empowerment. Then we move on to prevention, where we engage with various stakeholders at the grassroots levels, that is like you and I, through workshops. And then we also hold talks with children in schools, more so enlightening them on their on their rights. And also we have first responder trainings to create awareness. And then we have partnerships and advocacy and research. We partner with various people who are like-minded, and we share a common vision or mission to eradicate human trafficking. Yeah.
Sorry. You've been talking about human trafficking, and I'm here wondering, how bad is it in our country?
Wow. It is really bad. And one thing I must highlight is that Kenya is a source, transit, and destination. So it's a hub. Okay? And we have 3 towns that are actually considered as hotspots: Nairobi, Mombasa, and Kisumu.
The 3 cities of Kenya.
Yes.
The 3.
They are hotspots. And we have people being trafficked to Kenya, that is men, women, and children, for purposes of exploitation. We have some of them using Kenya as a transit route to other countries, either to Middle East, which is very common, others to Asia and Europe. Okay? And then we have now Kenya receiving as a final destination for people to come and actually be exploited. Like a very good scenario, I'm sure, and I'm very sure you have been seeing people stationed in various places within Nairobi town, and they're begging on the streets.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is human trafficking.
Yes.
Okay, let's start from the beginning. How many types of human trafficking are there?
Okay.
Or what are the different kinds of human trafficking?
Okay. So, 1, let's define human trafficking. So, human trafficking is the transportation. No, sorry, we start with recruitment, transportation, harboring, and for what purpose? To exploit. Okay? However, for children, the means the means doesn't matter, whether you kidnapped them, whether you lied to them, so long as there's that initial activity and exploitation. Okay? So what are the various types of human trafficking? 1, we have child labor, forced child labor, early forced child marriages, forced begging, domestic servitude.
Kindly. For the layman, me, I'm a layman at this point.
Yeah.
Please explain to me what each means.
Okay. Forced labor.
Because I'm very lost.
We start with forced labor. I will come to you, recruit you, take you maybe, let's say, to Middle East, okay? And I had told you you will be paid a certain amount, okay? Like it's let me get you this job, journalism job, and let's say Saudi Arabia. We get there, it's totally different. You're subjected to another type of job, let's say domestic work. You are not paid. You work for long hours. They deny you access to your travel documents. You are literally on.
You are their slave at that point.
Exactly.
I have a question.
Yes.
I intentionally come look for you because I am jobless. Our country has so many unemployment cases. But word on the street is, if you go to Saudi, if you go to Dubs, if you go to Dubai, if you go to Lebanon, you'll get opportunities. So I come to you. You tell me I can take you to Lebanon to work there as a nanny. Me coming to you voluntarily, but then the things you tell me are not at par with what I get there. Is that also human trafficking?
Yes, I want you to understand the aspect of how lucrative human trafficking as a business is. Okay? There are people who thrive in this business. It's
because it's actually a business.
It is.
Yeah, especially for
the
taking
agencies.
People. Yeah.
Yes, it's a business. And they're really, that is how the recruitment takes place. And you're given even a contract in Arab for you to sign. What do you know? Can you understand Arab?
No.
There's nobody to translate that for you. So you just assume and you take their word. And there you go.
If you are in Dubai.
Yes, and we have even had cases where people are given, they were told they're going to Dubai, but at the airport they're given a different ticket. They're actually going to Saudi Arabia.
And you can't turn back.
You can, but they are not that empowered. They don't know what to do.
And because you're desperate, you have to go.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. You are telling us about the types of trafficking?
Yes. Early child marriages. That's a type of trafficking. Okay? This child is not of age to say yes to marriage. We begin from there. However, due to the cultural practices that are practiced in various communities, like the pastoralist communities in Kenya, they will actually do more of a marriage ceremony for this young girl who has just turned 13, just because they feel she's of age. And this girl is exploited sexually and is moved from one point to another, and more so married off to very old men for purposes of sexual exploitation.
And also the family to get property.
Yes. So there's gain on the other end, which is quite sad. And then now there's domestic servitude.
What is domestic servitude?
It's where you work in a home setup. You just work there like a slave, and you don't get any compensation. You have no right whatsoever. You're even denied food. You're denied this. There's a lot of humane activities linked to all this kind of trafficking. Yeah.
Oh, there's something you were telling me right before we started, how here in Nairobi I would need a nanny. So someone randomly tells me, see, we can get someone from Western. There's something you are telling me that is also human trafficking.
Of course it is. You know, let me pose a question to you. So if you are to get a nanny from Western, how old would she be?
I would imagine of age 18, 19, 20.
But mostly it's never that case.
Mostly you are not told, of the stories we've had, mostly you're not told about age.
Yeah.
But you're just told, nitakuletea msichana wa kazi.
Yes.
Niko na msichana mahali hata anakaanga tu nyumbani.
Yeah. So what happens is there will be that recruitment. Already it has begun.
Oh, that is now recruitment.
Yes. it has begun. Just the fact that there's demand from your end, there's demand. Okay, so whoever is actually recruiting will supply you with a person. Okay, for what purposes? To exploit. However, for you, it's not clear. You just need someone. But most scenarios is you will get a very young child who is brought to you, probably 15, 16, and then you're told, don't be giving her money, send money
Unatuma nyumbani.
Yeah. So this child is actually trafficked, and these people go through a lot of trauma because their child, she was denied of her childhood.
Yeah, true. That is true.
Yeah. So lack of education, this physical abuse when they're already working, and then more so now that is where we come in. Okay, probably after identification through the various stakeholders, this is where we come in. Like, let's say it's a scenario of a child, they will be referred to the children office, and then the children office will refer the child to us. Then what we do is we screen, and then we do immediate needs assessment. And one of the things that come out after immediate needs assessment, there's need for medical care, immediate medical care. Then there's immediate psychosocial support, where this child needs to go through counseling, and sometimes it escalates to psychiatric care because of PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, based on what they have gone through the exploitation period. And then, of course, we give them time for them to heal. And then now we embark on family tracing and reintegration. And then eventually we do economic empowerment, because one of the things that has come out clearly, one of the push factors to trafficking is poverty. And how do we curb trafficking? Is through economic empowerment of the family, and then we do periodic follow-ups.
Okay.
Yes.
Speaking of what your organization does, do you step in before trafficking or after or during? How do you step into it?
Okay. We do it before, and then before it's through creating awareness. Okay, through the various workshops that are held. I can comfortably say that we have reached over 90,000 people through...
That's a good number.
Yes, through 1,700 workshops all over Kenya. Okay? However, it's not enough. So it's a continuous thing. Okay? Because trends keep on changing. Okay? Like when there was COVID, there was lockdown, what would happen? There was restricted movement. So trafficking took another turn.
What turn?
Inter-county instead of international. And then there was, what do we call it? Oh my, why is it?
Regardless of whether we are going international or not, the business must thrive.
Exactly. And then virtually, yes.
Virtual?
Yes.
How?
Okay. Through the internet. Okay? Learning took another turn.
Yes.
Children were exposed to use internet, and most of the times, parents had to work. So they were left unattended. So there was this online sexual exploitation of children, which is a form of trafficking. It doesn't necessarily have to be a movement. Okay?
Yeah.
So children were exploited for like pornography, nude pictures, and what have you. Yes.
So what are some of the red flags you can put your finger on? Like, for instance, if I want to get a house girl or a nanny from outside my county, what are some of the red flags to look out for? If I want to get a job from an agency in Dubai or Saudi Arabia, I am very innocent. I don't know what I did. At some point, I'm even imagining most of us out here are practicing human trafficking and we didn't even know we are doing it. So what are some of the red flags to look out for when I'm looking for a job outside the country, or even when I'm looking for a nanny outside the county?
Okay. So when you're looking for a job outside the country, I would urge you to reach us, because we do safe migration training, where we give you like step by step of guidelines of what you're supposed to do in terms of reporting to the various consulates in Kenya and also outside Kenya, and then how to interpret your contract before you go. What are some of the red flags that you should be able to identify that tell you actually what I'm prepared for is not what I'm going to get on the other side?
Some of those red flags.
Like if you're given a contract in Arabic. Written in Arabic? Yes. That's a red flag.
Oh, if some people are given...
Yes. And
so that's that you don't read it.
Yes, and you don't understand. So when you go there, you're told you signed this. Okay? And then... what are some of these things? If you tell them I would like to report, notify our consulate, and they say no, that's a red flag. If you're not given your travel documents, like the ticket, you should have it, like, let's say
you should go home with it.
Yes,
I should leave my house with my passport and my ticket.
Yes, but don't tell me let's meet in the airport. I give you your ticket that day you are leaving. Okay. Where am I going?
Mnanipeleka wapi?
Yeah, where am I going?
What about the instances where you asked for large sums of money? You're told for you to fly, you need to bring for me 180,000. I'm jobless. Where am I supposed to get that kind of money?
Honestly, this is a social economic problem that is really pushing people. And yes, people are languishing in poverty. Mm-hmm. However, I don't want to dwell much on you should not be asked for money or you should be asked for money, because those are different business entities. Mm-hmm. Some of them are genuine, some of them are not genuine. Mm-hmm. However, just look at the nitty-gritties. Can I understand my contract? Okay? Who is meeting me? Am I allowed to report to my consulate in that other country that I'm going to?
Yeah.
If I engage them and I tell them I would want to engage the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and inform them that I'm traveling, is this something that is being taken kindly? Those are some of the things that you should be able to look into. Aside from
the red flags of getting a nanny out of town, you said if they are underage,
that's a no-go zone.
If you're told to send money to their place and not them, not give the child the money, ask for an ID. What other red flags?
And also, be humane. Pay them the proper amount.
What is the proper amount?
Look at the labor laws.
That says 13,000. It's 13,000, yes?
I think it's 14. Mm-hmm. And then you pay for them in HIF.
Oh, I'm also supposed to pay for them in HIF?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So the same way my office pays my NHIF is the same way I'm supposed to.
And of course, observe the human rights aspect of it. Okay? Don't make this person work for very long hours without breaks. Mm-hmm. Don't deny them their right to movement. Okay? Mm-hmm. Sorry? Yeah.
You've been quiet. Tell us something. What is your take? How do you play part in the initiative, in the shelter? Your take?
So, I mean, it's pretty shocking to imagine that some of these things happen locally. Because when you hear human trafficking, most of the time you imagine international level, Muko Juu, as we are not involved in any way. But to actually realize that we are also involved, that would take advantage of people who are in another county to come work for us in our homes, underpay them. As she said, not consider their human right. Mm-hmm. You'd have a house girl being told to stay within their home for
and it's common. It's so common.
Yeah. And you could even hear the casual conversations among people who have house helps in their homes. They'll be like, mimi siwezi itikisha wangu aende weekend mahali.
Kwanza sasa kuna COVID. Hapana, aende akuja na mimba.
Exactly. Such casual conversation that we throw around without really thinking about the impact or even like how far it has dated. Also something that she said was it's a social economic issue. So it tells you that our government is not doing the work
Then it's also
of
taken so
eradicating poverty.
yeah, it's
Sorry?
also taken so casually. People tend to imagine I am feeding you. There's a roof over your head. Kwa hiyo nyumba ukosi tissue, haukosi sabuni. Why am I paying you 14,000? Why?
But aren't your children?
Being well taken care of.
Isn't it just right to invest?
It is. It is. But that's how things are being run out there.
Be different. Let the change start with you. Don't generalize it just because other
Don't
people
continue
yes.
with the trend. And it's
I heard you mention you have a child.
yes.
Pay that nanny 4,000. The things that child will go through. Yeah, I'm being very honest.
I know.
So, in real sense, invest.
I know.
Treat her like a human being.
Yes.
Because she also has children she's taking care of.
It is
if
said-
not children, a whole entire family depending on her.
Yes.
That's her predicament. Yeah.
So tell us about gaining grip experience.
Okay. So Gaining Grip is going to be an event. It's going to be on the 10th of this month. We're really looking forward to having that conversation and having that panel. She's going to be part of the panel. So Gaining Grip is an event that aims to have a conversation around human rights, around sexual abuse, especially gender-based violence, and also human trafficking. These are things that the person hosting this event feels a need to have a conversation around these things. And given that, that's what the whole show is going to revolve around. We're going to have a panel. As I said, she's going to be part of that panel. And then we're going to have curated performances that are actually going to question or give stories about gender-based violence, about human trafficking, about GBV as well. So,
Speaking of gender-based violence,
Yeah.
we've been having the hashtag 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. What is your take on it? We have like 2 days to go.
yeah.
Have you been having any activities ongoing? Is human trafficking gender-based violence?
Of course. Yes, it is, because people are sexually exploited. That's a form of during trafficking scenarios. Most women are sexually exploited, which means that this is a form of gender-based violence. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and even physically assaulted. Yeah.
Have you been doing any activities through this period?
So
If yes, what are some of the activities?
as I said, I'm a theatre for development practitioner. Currently, I'm working with a group in Machakos of girls who are getting pregnant early. And it's so weird how all of these issues at the end of the day will tie in with poverty.
Yes.
Again, our government is just letting us down.
Very bad.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'd say we are trying to discover what the main issue is with underage girls getting pregnant. And I'd say personally what I've discovered is it's poverty, really.
Yeah,
that,
if a girl will
is-
sleep for pads.
Exactly. And in Machakos, it's so bad because the poverty levels go to an extreme where food is involved. So I'd sleep with Anduthi man because I want a pack of fries.
And then you'll be hungry and pregnant for 9 months.
But at the moment when you're thinking about that, you don't even have the information to think about the pregnancy, first of all. The only thing you're thinking about is food. You can imagine in your home you've not had food for 4 days.
True.
A packet of fries looks very appealing to me, my friend.
That is true.
Yeah. So it's just a sad situation that we've been pushed to such states of economic depression.
How many gaining grip experience events have you had this year?
I think this is the one we're having this year.
Or the first one this year?
Yeah, we had another one last year. I'm sure this is something that is planned to continue continuously and consistently.
This is your 4th edition.
I believe.
Okay. Tell us about, if I want to come to the event, how do I come? Why should
Yes.
people come for the event?
So first of all, the reason you want to come to this event is there's nothing like education with entertainment. That combination slaps different. So education entertainment. You're going to be entertained. And at the end of the day, you're going to learn so much. You're going to be educated. You're going to have people give you information that is not an everyday thing that you get. And it's going to be coming from experts like Christine.
Yes.
So that is something to look forward to. If you want to come to the show, it's going to be at YWCA, opposite Serena Hotel, Karibu na CP, just around there. But if you follow us on our social media handles, you're bound to be able to get the details on our poster. The show's going to start at around 3 p.m. So we're really looking forward to having an amazing audience join us there.
We hope we will come. Tickets or anything will just come.
So there's a link. You sign up using that link. The link is on my Instagram bio. It's on Anika's Instagram bio as well, through Spontaneous. So you should be able to find the link there.
Okay.
Yes.
Madam Christine, now that I represent a particular fraction of Kenyans who are shocked that we practice human trafficking unknowingly, give us a parting shot. Please talk to fellow Kenyans. What should we do? What should we look out for? Personally, I didn't know. I am confused. I have practiced human trafficking before.
Thank you for owning up. Thank you for the courage to own up. However, you can be part of the change, and how you can be. You can reach out to us through our helpline on so that we can arrange for workshops to create awareness, so that people get to know this better, and more so also identify cases. Be what do we say? Be your sister's keeper, be your brother's keeper within the community. Yeah.
Please share with us the hotline.
The hotline number is 0780 211 113.
Again.
0780 211 113. That's our helpline number.
Now, one more thing. You've said that we see so many people, those vilemas on the street, wanakuanga hapo biashara. If I go see a couple and maybe manage to talk to one, two, I can always call that hotline.
Yes, you can.
Hata nikapata watu wengi aje kwa street ni wakol tu. You will come to their
But be
rescue.
sure, this is what I want you to understand. Be sure that this person was actually deceived. Like, let me give you a scenario of a case we had of a child who was trafficked to Kenya from Tanzania for purposes of begging, forced begging on the streets. So the thing is, you must identify when they're telling you they were moved from a certain place.
There are red flags in their story.
Yes, they were moved from a certain area or a place to this place. They were lied to. Maybe they will be taken to school to
get
seek
help,
employment or medical attention.
Yes.
However, when they came here, this is what they were subjected to.
Okay.
Okay. If you hear of such a case, would be willing to screen now that you have identified, and if they are victims of trafficking, definitely will offer them the rehabilitative services.
There has to be a story
Yes.
behind it.
If they are not, we'll definitely link them to other organizations that can help.
There are other organizations that can help.
Yes.
Such as?
I don't want to mention names because
Okay.
yes, it depends with the case.
The most important is we channel them to you. You
Yes.
will know where to land them in a
Yes.
safe, how or where to put them
Yes.
in a safe space.
Yes.
Okay. So how are you partnering in the event?
To create awareness.
Just to create awareness.
Yes, we want people to learn more about trafficking, to be aware, and to be ambassadors in the various communities. Yeah, for
Thank you so much for your time.
You're
We
welcome.
will make sure to attend the events.
Karibuni sana.
Personally, I have learned something that I did not know. Please invite people to the event as we wind up.
Yeah, Karibuni, the event is going to be at YWCA again. You can find a link on my Instagram bio, which is at Gicheru __ Wanjiku. That's 3 underscores. Or at Spontaneous on Instagram. Karibuni tafadhali. It's going to be such a fruitful event. It's going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining, educative, and we're going to question norms really and tendencies of the way we've been acting as a collective.
Thank you so much. Me, I'm shocked. I did not know. I genuinely did not know. Thank you for joining us. We will be coming back after a short break.